Hello to all my wonderful spirits. Welcome to the program. And today we just want to get into breaking down the symbolisms of the caduceus or the staff of Hermes, where you may have seen this symbol in a lot of pharmaceutical industries where they use this symbolism in the pharmacy because they're talking about how they use their medical products to alter the biochemistry of your brain and body. Because remember, your whole body is an organ, your whole body is a mind. This just represents the totality of you're from your root chakra all the way to your third eye chakra, and then you got your Saturn chakra, which is your halo, your reality, what you're realistic about, and things like that. So these are all just simplified symbolisms for the body that we are in, because the body we are in is based on a spiritual blueprint that is condensed into a mental form, a space that we occupy, a psychological psyche model, a state of mind that you are in, which condenses to also your biology, down to the family that you created, down to your lineage, down to the culture that you're from, and things like that, right? Because this is not your first rodeo. You are actually an old spirit, or you may have just evolved from becoming an animal and things like that. But if you're watching this video, you probably is an old spirit. You probably is aware of things like that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be looking at this, because this is symbolism. This is language and things like this is a language model, right? Or even in Egypt, they was using symbolisms to communicate and stuff like that. Even in computers, they use that to create programs and stuff like that. So the same thing, our mind is an interactive language model, and it can produce language to describe subconscious things that we want to describe to other people as a point of reference to teach, or to, there's a lot of things we could do with this shit, right? Because we're compiling we're compiling algorithms, we're compiling data and stuff like that. And it changes throughout cultures and history. But if you just take a look here, when we talk about this side of this side of the realm, this side, the right brain chakras, or the right side of your brain, but your whole body is a brain. So please keep that in mind, guys. Don't get lost. Because science also talks about how your gut organ is also a brain. I know I don't have the visuals, but I'm trying to explain it to you. Your gut is also a brain. That's what, man. So you say, man, I had a gut feeling about that person. Yeah, your whole organ, your whole body is a symbiotic organism that works together, right? So this side of the body represents the right brain chakras, the subconscious realm, the unconscious realm, the unseen, the things that how we speculate, the things that we may not see from people until it's externalized in the conscious external realm by behaviors, languages, actions towards you, and stuff like that, which we're going to get into. And the right brain has to do with what? Water and fire. Your ability to purify, to create a vision, and then to bring it down to a container and actually be able to condense that form so you can live that out as a form of air communication and as a form of earth, so you can practicalize it. This is how your right brain and your left brain communicate, but these things are constantly in a symbiotic relationship where they're both kind of firing, and information is kind of traveling throughout your whole body. But since we created the world out of nothing, out of subconsciousness, unconsciousness, this is the real starting point. It's not objective subjective, is subjective objective, because this is how we create worlds. We literally have so many multiverses next to our universe, where there's so many different types of creatures, so many different types of realms that we're not aware of. But we don't be aware of these things because we got lost in this biology, in this physical body, in this condensed version of the universal symbolism. But yeah, the subconscious, the unconscious has to do with the feminine realm, right? Where it's symbolized here by the curved lines, like moving like a snake. Because a lot of the times people around you may be snakes, and you may not realize it. So we come up with sayings like, snakes in the grass. You got to be able to understand people's passions, Mars, people passions and desires, because that's in the subconscious realm, right? Unless you're spiritually astute, or you're not spiritually astute, you might not see someone else's intentions and fall into a trap that they have created for you based on them having a non-benevolent intention towards you. And this is why we say, females are very emotional. Females may be very indirect, where they may want you to read how they feel, but we're not all mind readers. But if you understand people's love language and people's fight language, you're able to organize yourself in a much more sufficient manner and stuff like that. So this has to do with the internal realm, what's inside, and what's inside of us. With the right brain, the right organ chakras is the feelings, the heart organ, the heart chakras, how you receive feelings about people and stuff like that from your environment, where a lot of the times these chakras may be overused. For example, in the Western culture where I am right now in Canada, and then just the Western hemisphere, A lot of people overuse their Mars chakra, the root chakra. A lot of sex, a lot of pornography, a lot of things that don't necessarily serve the mind in the long term. It's really short-term based pleasures and short-term gratification. So a lot of the times, the people that run the world get us lost in these organs, get us lost in these minds and parts of the body. And finally, here we have the Ouroboros, which is the snake. It's the cycle that we are in as a totality, right? Where it can even represent the reptilian brain, your lower mind, but it's really up to you to create a new cycle. That's why it's the number 8, because 8 really represents your mind, the cycle that your mind is in as a group of thoughts and feelings, because you're swimming through a collection of thoughts and feelings, and that play out in the third dimension as the character, as the behavior that you have. You might have a lot of victimizing thoughts and feelings about your past, and you might play out like someone who gets victimized a lot, someone who gets taken advantage of by people because you act as if you're unaware or something like that. It really get deep, because we're talking about wiring your mind in a particular way so you can play out results in a particular way in your external environment, right? And when we get into and here we're getting into the left brain, more of the conscious reality, where we're actually consciously aware of what we consciously do and stuff like that. So that has to do with the external realm, the masculine energy, straight lines, which is a symbolism for being direct. That's why we say, oh yeah, that nigga, he's straight as fuck, because you're saying he's so masculine, he's so direct with it. Where a female, you could look at her body and be like, ooh, she got the curves. That means because she's a female, she's supposed to be like that. And as men, we are attracted to that expression because we're supposed to reproduce, and it's really just deeper than that, because really this is just the internal things we do, where we mix our subconscious, our feminine realm, with our masculine energy, so we can create an overall expression, an overall being, and a holistic being. But see, in society today, we get lost in these chakras, we get lost in these organs, we get lost in these as above so below microcosm expressions that we created as a condensed version of periodic tables that we can view all around us: gold, silver, potassium, magnesium, selenium, all chromium. All these things is things that we actually have inside us. So you're literally stardust in a body, right? So this is the masculine energy right here, and it's symbolized by the yang. See, there's symbolisms, all symbolisms in society, if you notice, they're all really just talking about the same things, just in different ways. It's in different ways, where you got the yin, you got the yang, you got the Masonic black wing and the Masonic white wing. You got the Judaism symbol, which is nothing but fire, water, air, and earth. All these things are talking about the same things. It's just a language model, so we can break it down to others. Because a lot of these people, a lot of these secret societies, they don't like sharing this knowledge with people, because they don't want people to actually understand the totality, the holistic nature of things, and just keep ruling over you guys. Where this is just really the beginning. You really gotta make sure you do the work within, and connect with spirit and connect with source, so you can be resourceful, and you can be abundant, and you can be a real miracle worker, and you can be wonderful, because miracles are not hard. These miracles are very performable. It's not necessarily like you split the sea like Moses. All these things is just symbolisms, where for example, with Moses, I really think this was what it's referring to. It's talking about really the root chakra, and really creating a sword, a logic, a word to cut through someone's aggression, cut through someone else's negative intentions and stuff like that. That's the type of shit. It's talking about using energy. It's talking about using elementals. It's talking about using the elements to your advantage, and not letting these things use you. Because when you let these energies use you, and you're not aware that you're the observer, you're the creator, you're the creation, you become the upside down Baphomet star, where it's like the goat symbol, and you get used by the elements. So now you're the creation, and spirits can jump in you and use you as a vessel to have experiences, and that spirit is just gonna go to another person and repeat that cycle with you later and shit like that. So you gotta be the North Star, where you understand fire, earth, air, and water, and you're the observer, you're the ether. You use these things to create a mind, to create an ethernet. But let's get back right into this. So this the masculine realm, the external realm, which we're consciously aware of, what we present externally on the outer world based on whatever we're subjectively connected to. If you have weak feelings, if you have weak ass passions and desires, and you're stuck in that cycle, you're going to exude that externally as well, where the ideas you play out may be seen as weak. What you love and value and appreciate externally may be based on the passion and desires. You might be like pornography, it might be drugs, it might be crack. None of these things is good or bad. It's just when you go in an excess with these things and you don't have balance, you get lost in the external world and you forget that you can produce all these things internally. All these feelings can be generated internally. I ain't telling you to be a monk. Shit. I love women. I love all women. I ain't shit. As a man, you're supposed to love women too. So I'm not telling you to necessarily be a monk. Hell no. I'm telling you, understand this shit so you can educate yourself and the next generation and the people around you, so you can actually so we can actually get back on the spiritual race, so we don't be stagnated, we don't be scared, we don't be worried, and then we have to go through some catastrophic situations so we can be like, ah, damn, I really got stuck in something. Why did I get stuck in something? Because of the wrong morality sometimes and stuff like that. So, we got the ideas we externalize outwardly, and we got the Venus, what we love, value, and appreciate, right? And then we got our structure, our system. A lot of these things don't really come from us. We allow the shadow government to give us how they feel, to the point that where they tell you Adam isn't actually an idea, a specific idea they want you to play out, where this is a witchcraft. They took their yin realm, their internal energy, and they made you play that out externally in the form of a craft. So it's a witch, bitch, which is internal, feminine, crafted, buildings, cars, vacuums, ACs, because all these things really was built by men, but it was for the sake of women though, because we love women, we love the feminine expression, and we wanted to provide an easier life for females. It's because their beauty inspired us to create and to be more masculine, so we can protect our families, so we can protect our loved ones and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of these things, they be trying to control us. Think about the structure. The structure has to do with, Capricorn and Aquarius and stuff like that, and your skeletal system, the rigid systems that we follow, the taxes we pay, the form of government we follow, whether you're in a democracy or a communism, and all these things are based on the parameters. So if you're in the East, there's a particular form of governing they practice over there based on matching the energies, microcosm and macrocosm. Microcosm, because it's been like that in every rulership. It's been like that in every culture. You can see in the Middle East right now, it's still a monarchy. It's still like a one person or military rule or some shit like that. Because that's where the energy archangel Michael resides. Where's the sword of righteousness? Oh, we're right. Oh, I'm right. So there's so much wars and shit over there. So it'd be. And remember, all these things I'm talking about is just anthropomorphized symbolisms of an energy spectrum we experience. It's really the periodic table. We'll see the average person, the average religious person, they can't understand this level where there is no devil, because they're stuck in what? Saturn, a structure, a system. They're rigid about it, and they're passionate about it, and they love, value, and appreciate it, and they want to feel about it, and they want to continue playing out these ideas. Wow, this is just a universe that a Mason or a Jew created for us to play out, right? So that's what a lot of these things be about, the yin realm, the subconscious, the unconscious, and the yang realm, the conscious external realm. And when we balance these things, they can create a world that they can play out, where they almost have like a magic wand called religion, entertainment, politics. So they understand how to take these energies and how to shape it and form it into coherent expressions to rule over geographical locations. That's why in the Western world, so they call America the land of the brave and the land of the free, because the Indians were free people until they were exposed to that energy of slavery and put under rulership. So the Indians were always wild and free. I love my Indians out there, real shit. Shout them out. But yeah, this is what it's all about. This basically is about controlling your alchemy, your mental alchemy, controlling your biology. Don't let anybody ever govern any of these realms. These are your realms. These are your spaces. These are your organs. These are your energy centers. You're supposed to program these things for what you want to experience, and not let anyone else program it for you for what they want you to experience, because they are literally harnessing your energy in totality and running societies. And they've been doing this shit for thousands of years, like millennia and shit. But it's really deep, because they used to be slaves too and stuff like that, but they learned the witchcraft and they started utilizing it to their advantage, and then they started running shit. So really, a lot of us old spirits that actually know what's going on is coming back now, and we're actually at the same point we was at before, where there's like a tipping balance in power, and we're trying to see, well, we're not trying to see, really it's a decision that you make, because It's not about what they do. It's not about other people. It's not about, saving people. Nothing like. It's about you just being at a certain level of awareness so that, what's normally done to others, they're not able to do to you. So you're a free man. You're a rock star now. And now, like, you're free to build whatever you want. That's why they call them Freemasons, because they're free builders. They can take their subconscious realm and still build external shit as long as it agrees with the overall authority, the overall Jewish system. But fuck all that shit. You're supposed to be a free spirit and you're supposed to do whatever the fuck you want to. But see, they don't like that shit. They don't want you to be a free spirit. They want you to be under their control, under their rule. Because the more we free people's minds, the more we start to break their system apart. We start to take the charge from their system, because we use their banknotes. We use their grocery stores. We use their education system. For what? We can create these things anyways. Half of these things, all these things, really, their religions and all that, just be used to control us. So why not just take control and power over our energy centers and our reality so we can take back control of this reality in totality? This was your boy, Inside 11, and I'm signing out.